We are back in here at Mike and Ed's Barbecue, and I am with the Gators head coach who just clinched a home playoff game for at least the first round. Big win over Dadeville on senior night, 50-22. Coach, first things first, what does it mean to be able to host the playoffs?
First off, man, dap you up, man.
You got to dap you up.
Hey, man, you got to go. I see you got your voice back. You tell me you lost it.
I lost it a few days ago.
That's
no
right.
doubt.
So, just great way for the seniors to go out at home. Just very happy the way our team played. Very happy the way our team prepared and was ready to play. And it was very emotional for our seniors. And like I told you last week, these guys came in with me as freshmen. So, we spent the last 4 years together. So can't say enough about our senior class and just, coming out in the first half and really playing really good football in the first half. And then third quarter, not so much at times. And then, but able to finish. And again, it was a full quarter ball game. And hats off to Dadeville. And, I've said this several times, the best win team I've seen probably in the history of coaching because our quarterback is really good, and they got several good athletes over there. So it was a test, but it was a good test, and so hopefully it prepares for this week.
Coach, you're undefeated in region play. You at least get to host that home playoff game, play for region championship coming up this Friday. We'll talk about that in a moment. But for your guys to come out, start the first half strong, it seems like that has been the mantra these last couple of weeks, getting off to a strong start, but then able to finish. Is that what you're proud of with your team, that second half, especially the fourth quarter?
And I say strong start. It was not a very good first play for us.
No.
And we come out and, we kind of had some confusion. We throw a ball kind of behind them. We cut the route off a little bit. They get an interception, take it down to about the 15-yard line. And our defense just came up with a great stand right there. And we was able to hold them out of the end zone, actually knock them back a little bit. So hold them out from getting 0 points because it could have started really, really bad for us. And then the offense got back on the field. And then, we kind of got to work offensively. And played really well defensively in the first half. We only gave up, one touchdown. Again, they got an elite quarterback over there. And he's not only a good thrower, he's a really good athlete. He's a coach's kid, so he's a very smart kid too. So to hold them to one score in the first half, but not only in the half with Nate Malone on a pick six, and he jumps a little wheel out of the backfield, and he called it down our sideline and wasn't no catching him. So he made a great play on that to go in the locker room, put us up 29-8, put us up 21 points to go in the locker room. So can't say enough about our defense in the first half. And then offensively, Nate had probably his best game of his career so far at Glenwood. I think he ended up with 19 carries for 179 yards,
Jeez.
2 touchdowns. Had some highlight runs, made some guys miss. But the most important thing, I think he's grown so much the last 3 ball games, is he's pushing the ball vertical. And so he's not a whole lot of movement sideways. He's starting to understand the cut, starting to understand the feel of the offense, and just press it, and get vertical. Jalen had on the open possession, a touchdown pass to Zayden Hart on the 3rd and long, which we had a touchdown call back from a misalignment. The very next play, we hit Zayden on a little post curl, and he was able to wiggle in there. So he had another good game. I think 3 catches for 50 yards. Cal Lawrence, another one, 3 catches for 50 yards, I think it was. So very efficient again in the throw game. We didn't throw it as much as we've been throwing it around, kind of because they laid back on us a little bit. And we was able to, like I said, let Nate go to work. And Carter Judah had some big-time runs, in the first half also. So just kind of getting the run game going. I was very excited to see Jalen pull the ball down and run the ball. So he ended up having 2 touchdowns in the game, rushing the ball.
Yeah.
And so he was able to pull some. They crashed the ends on our inside zone, and he just pulled it and made a few plays on the perimeter. So just really a total, team effort from the special teams to the defense and to the offense in the first half to give us, that 21-point lead. And then we come out. I wasn't real happy with this way we come out of the locker room.
Right.
And I stressed it to our team. I wanted to come out and really dominate the whole entire football game. And we come out, and they received the opening kickoff second half, and I think they went on an 8-play drive, and all they did is ran it down our throat. And so we were kind of banged up a little bit defensively. We had something. We had 2 personal fouls on Carter that he got ejected from the ball game, which we have to clean up, and he's got to do better. And that's something it's been an emphasis in our building this week, or already this week. So we'll get that corrected. That won't be a problem moving forward. And then like I said, they took it down, we score, or they scored, then we take it right back down and we score, and then we give up a 1-play touchdown. That's just something that
you hate that, don't you?
It just it's something that we talk about a lot as a staff. I know Coach McConnell don't like it either. The guys, they hit us on a little wheel right out of the backfield, kind of misaligned, missed coverage a little bit, and the guy that he threw it to had a lot of speed, made a couple of guys miss right there. So But we was able to come right back down and score again, and to kind of push it right there, 14-14 in the third quarter, and then I felt like we dominated the fourth quarter.
Right.
So ended up being a great win on senior night, but most important, like I said, we punched our ticket now for the dance. We were in the playoffs last week, but I wanted a lot more just to be in the playoffs. I want to at least have this first round at home, so that's guaranteed now. And we go on the road this week to play for the region championship, and if we can get that one, then we'll be the 1 seed. It'll be back-to-back region championships, and so that's been the goal all year, and here it is. We got a chance to go do it. So just proud of our program, though, Thrift. Proud of our program.
And that's my next question about your program. Your program hasn't lost at home since 2022, man.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you to have this? I don't know how many games it is in a row. I think it's over 20. But talk about the consistency. Since that loss to Brookstone in 2022, your team has been automatic ever since. So talk about being able to have a home place like the Swamp that you take pride in playing.
Well, I just credit it to our atmosphere. I mean, I think if you come out and we try to put a good atmosphere out there, pregame warm-ups. I credit to our fans for showing up and supporting the kids. But, you know, anytime in high school football, when you can do something that's normal, you don't have to get on the bus, you can eat pregame meal at school, you got your routine, and you get into a routine, you're comfortable with those kind of things. So that's been big for us. And, you know, for me, it's just defending the home turf has always been goal number one, and playing well at home, because you're going to be in front of your home fans. You're going to have a lot of people from Phoenix City, the Smith Station, the Columbus area that want to come out and support your program. So it's always fun to play well at home, and it means a lot to us to defend the Swamp. But, you know, I can't say enough about, you know, our program from a sense of, like we kind of talked about last week. You know, when we went to this league, you know, we were dumb. You know, it wasn't a smart move. Coach, what are you doing? Why do we want to do this, and this? Well, you know, for one, we needed to do it from a standpoint of travel, and not having to drive to Birmingham and, you know, Selma and all these places to play region games. But for two, it gave our program, not only in football, but all of our sports, to kind of give our kids to the state and let the state see how good our kids really are, because you get caught so much flack from playing in the AISA with people saying the competition wasn't as good and all this kind of stuff. So here we are, and we're playing in 3A. We probably should be a 1A or a 2A school, but with the multiplier, we're having to play up, and here we are. You know, win the region last year, going undefeated in the regular season, and again, we're 5-0 in the region right now. A chance to play for a region championship again this year. At worst, we finished 2. So I can't say enough about how hard our kids work, how hard our coaches work, and you know, just the overall, you know, our program right now and where it's at, and what we've accomplished in 2 years.
No doubt about it, Coach, and I'm glad you made mention of all that, man. It's been impressive. 16-2 through 2 years in the AHSAA for a program that wasn't supposed to win more than 5 in the last 2 years. Is on their way to potentially getting 8 wins this year, but we got to talk about that 7th win, because that's this Friday, region championship. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's Lee Scott. Not only is it rivalry week, it's for a championship too. What else can you need on Georgia Alabama Sports Live?
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Vision's morning show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Vision's morning show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Vision's morning show, and download the Sports Vision's radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Welcome back, everyone, here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Glenwood Coach Show for Mike and Ed's Barbecue. Coach, you had some incredible guys that did an awesome job defensively on last Friday night.
Yeah, and that's what I failed to mention. And, you know, just some great performances defensively. Number one from Tyler Clarity. You know, you look at Tyler, if he wants to walk in here, Tyler's probably right at about 5'10" right now, 5'11". Not very big. He's probably grown an inch or two since the season started.
Yeah.
Probably started the season right around 5'9", small guy. But look, man, this kid had 17 tackles the other night, 11 solos, just flying around the football, and did a wonderful job of tackling their athletes in space, because it wasn't easy. And just my hat's off to him. Josiah Clark the other night, 11 tackles, I think 8 solos. He's been flying around the ball a lot, playing with a lot of speed. He's kind of that silent killer in there. Don't say a whole lot, man. But when the lights come on Friday, he turns to a different switch. And then also Greg Gardner in there. I think he finished with 9 tackles. Been a staple for us the last 2 weeks. Played a really good ball game last week against Randolph. Backed it up again this week. So those 3 guys really did really well for us. And Asherlong, another good game. Caden Karakutis up front.
Caden.
You know, we had kind of an injury last week with our big left tackle nose guard, AC. Kind of a shin type, ankle type deal. And but Karakutis is in there just stuffing the run game. So hats off to him too. So those guys, man, defensively really did play well for us in the ball game. And, you know, I just hope we can continue to do it for another week.
Coach, let's talk about this week. It's rivalry week. It's Lee Scott. That's all you need to say. Kind of like last week, we talked about Pacelli Brookstone, Lee Scott, Glenwood. We know about the hatred there is with that. But you're a guy routine. You're a guy that never let anything like this faze you. But, Coach, for the outside looking in, this is a massive game in the state. It's 2 of the top teams in 3A, 4 regions championship. I mean, there's a lot on the line. And then it's a rivalry game with all that tied into it.
Right. Well, you know, everybody does talk about the rivalry, and that's one thing since I've been in Glenwood. It is a rivalry. There is some bad blood there, but you know, since I've been here, I got so much respect for Buster Daniels, their head coach. You know, he was at Opelika when I was at Central. He coached my dad, and as I got into the coaching ranks, he was kind of an older coach, but he was always good to me. I look at Coach Daniels as a good friend in the coaching ranks, and you know, we talk a lot throughout the year. So he's a great guy. I know he'll have his team prepared and be ready to go, and probably the most disciplined, sound team we're going to play all year. They're always like that. Every year
it's
we
a battle.
Them. Yeah, every year we've played them, so we know what we're going to get out of them. We know who they are. They know what we're going to get out of this. They know who we are. So it's fun though, because like I talked to him last week. You know, obviously with us winning it last year, they missed the playoffs, but you know, coming back year 2 in the region. And, you know, same thing, he says the same thing we do. You know, we come from AISA, and everybody's like, well, y'all can't compete in football, you can't compete. Well, you look at here, you got 2 AISA teams playing for the region championship in 3A in our region. And so it's big for both of our schools to be in the position we are. But, you know, at the end of the day right now, there's going to be a winner and loser next Friday night, but both of us are going to be guaranteed a home playoff game. So hats off to both teams for doing that. So, but we're excited to go over there and play again. And you know, hopefully we can play a clean game. I think, you know, the one thing for us, Thrift, is, you know, we've been on the road. You know, we went to Valley, and that was a kind of a hostile game for us. We went to Wadley, another hostile game. We went to Randolph, another hostile game. So the one good thing about it is this ain't the first time we're having to go on the road and play a game and play a quality opponent. So hopefully that's going to help us out by, you know, kind of being in that kind of environment, being on the road, because, you know, the Wadley game and the Randolph and really the Valley game too, it was all very, very tough games.
Yeah.
And very physical games. So that's what we're expecting to go over there. You know, they're really, really good football team. Like I said, they lost this past week. It was their first loss of the year. But besides that, they have been undefeated. You know, offensively, it starts with their running back, number 30.
Yep.
You know, he's been that kind of their cowbell. Their quarterback is a guy that transferred in from Auburn last year. He played with them last year. It's kind of their backup, but he played a little bit. But, you know, he's a starter. He's a bigger guy. He will run the football. Really likes to throw the football a little bit more than they have in the past with him, and he spins the ball really well. And offensive line-wise, it starts with them with that big number 51, and he's a really good player.
They're ballers.
Yeah, he plays nose guard for them too. So that's kind of their bell cows. And number 3 is their guy they like to go to. And they got some good athletes. Number 9, number 4, and like I said about number 3, 17 is the big tight end. So. Kind of mirror image of us. I mean, they got a lot of athletes on the perimeter. They got a good football club, and then defensively, number 30 turns right around, plays inside linebacker for him, and him and 51 are kind of they're 2 guys in the middle with 33 that are really good. You got 3 out there at safety that's really good. You got 2 that's another DB. So they got a lot of 9's another. So I'm naming all these guys. It's just I've seen them on film the last 2 days, and it's almost like I just see these guys flying around making a lot of plays. So they've got a lot of good athletes. They're well coached. The defensive coordinator has always done a good job, so I would imagine he's going to be ready and have a great plan for us. So we just got to come out and, you know, in big ball games, I don't, you know, I told the kids this yesterday, I don't think we got to do nothing special. I mean, you know, you look back and, you know, and I look back in my career, when you've been in state championship games, you've been in, semifinal games, you've been in big region games. I think it goes back, and I learned this from an old coach a long time ago, is go back and do what you're good at, and think about your day one installs. And, go out there, play the cleanest football game as you can, and don't turn the ball over, be sound on special teams, and tackle well, and you'll give yourself a chance.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach. Lee Scott, and you made mention of going up. This is the first time you're going up there since 2022, 23, and 24.
Right.
You both had them at home. So you know a lot about Coach Daniel, obviously. Yep. I know you don't care about Max Preps, but Max Preps has y'all ranked higher than them. And again, I know you don't care about none of those rankings. If you do Georgia Alabama Sports Live rankings, you know how we got you too, Coach.
Here's the ranking I want. I want to win this ball game, so we're number one in the region, and they'll be number two. And
that's the only thing that matters.
And that's the only thing that matters, because you can get caught up in the rankings, but it don't matter. And listen to this, and this is what's crazy about. And I'm going to flip it to the college game.
Yeah.
I read something on the X or the Twitter, whatever it's called today. Penn State was the number 3 team in the country.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. They have lost 3 games, and they have fired their coach. So there you go about your rankings, buddy.
That shows you how much people know
exactly.
in the preseason rankings, too.
Exactly. So.
But Lee Scott, going in that hostile environment, you talked about being able to be prepared, playing at Wadley, playing at Valley, and how do you make sure, Randolph County, how do you make sure that you have the outcome you did against Randolph County instead of what happened with Wadley and Valley this week?
Yeah, I think most importantly, you go back to the Wadley game. We turned the ball over. We didn't play sound in special teams, so it's evident right there.
Right.
I think we had 4 turnovers that night. Give up 2 big plays on special teams. We did create a big time play on special teams, but it didn't even out. So we kind of lost the battle there. And then same thing with Valley. We turned the ball over a few times there. We didn't. I don't really like to talk about the Valley game a whole lot.
Right.
That seemed like forever ago.
It was.
First game of the season. We're breaking in a lot of new guys. So we're a different club right now than we were when we played them, just from an experience standpoint. But I think, like I said, you gotta be able to go up here and get the emotions out of the game.
Right.
Because it is going to be emotional. They're going to have a packed crowd. We're going to have a packed crowd. It's going to be a big time stage. But I think that the team, the players that can go out there and kind of let the emotions die down and then turn into the human factors, what I like to call it, and actually play football, is the team that's going to survive and win the ball game.
All right, Coach, right here, look in that camera with your beautiful face. And I want you to tell this entire Glenwood community how important it is to head on up through Opelika, go into Auburn, where Lee Scott plays, pack out the stadium, because you need every bit of support you can get to win this region championship.
I don't think I got to say anything.
I think they know.
Here's the thing I will say, and it don't matter what sport it is. Since I've been in Glenwood, we could be in a cross-country match, or a track match. It could be tennis. It could be golf. It could be baseball, football, basketball. Any sport we play, we want to beat Lee Scott,
right.
and our fans are going to show up. They're going to support. So I don't have to say a whole lot. The only thing I'm going to tell you is get there early. Because, last time I went, I don't know if it's changed, but they still, they got the bleachers over there. There's not a whole lot of bleachers over there on the visitor side. So I would get there early to make sure that you got a seat and just come and enjoy the atmosphere. Lee Scott's always going to have a good atmosphere. Coach Daniels runs a great program over there. You know that. It'd be just like them coming over to us. We're going to have a great atmosphere in our home game. So a lot of respect for them, but, just be there for the kids, like I say, every week. And, let's go over there and figure out how to win a ball game, and then, just put another region championship together. And that's kind of the thing on the mind right now. I don't want to overthink it. I told our kids it's a big ball game. You don't want to pour too much into it. The good thing about it is win, lose, or draw, we do have that home playoff game, but we want to go over here and we want to play well, and we want to win the ball game. And that's what we're in the building 8 o'clock this morning on Columbus Day, day off, and we're out of school again tomorrow. The kids will be back up there 8 o'clock again tomorrow, and so we're up there trying to work and do everything we possibly can to prepare our bodies, to prepare our minds, and to get ready to play this game on Friday night.
And guess what? You can watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, 8 p.m. Cannot wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Lee Scott. It's Glenwood. Enough said. Region championship on the line. Coach, congratulations on making the playoffs, hosting a playoff game. We need one more thing.
That's right.
Let's get that region championship.
Right.
It's the Glenwood Coach Show live from Mike and Ed's Barbecue. We'll see you next week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.